This week's battle report is brought to you by the amazing team at 8Case. Looking for a new magnetic case to safely transport your troops? 8Case has you covered. I've been using their cases for several months now and absolutely love the flexibility, comfort, style, and customizable options. 8Case bags are designed in such a way to meet airline requirements and fit easily under the seat or in overhead storage. The shelves are super easy to assemble and require no tools. Also, their glue is easily the best I've used for assembling miniatures, and I've been in the hobby for over 2 decades now. Absolutely love this stuff. Check out their store link for their full inventory in the comments below. Thank you, 8Case. Hello, and thanks for joining us on our first Season 3 battle report on Tried and True. If you enjoy our content, please consider subscribing to the channel to keep up to date on our bat rep and podcast releases. If you'd like to support the channel directly, a link to our Patreon can be found in the video description below. Special thanks to Tigersdenpaint Studios for the amazing painting job on the Fire Tongue Cadre, and Broken Egg Games for the custom Delaware Warmachine wound tokens. Our match today was voted on by our patrons and features the 2025 Steamroller Rules Scenario 1 Color Guard. Welcoming back to Tried and True is our local Brinebloods player, Andy. He has brought 100 points of Brineblood Marauders led by the Fire Tongue War Chief Bagatti. Please tell us about your list choices and strategy going into the match.
Hi, I'm Andy. I brought War Chief Bagatti today. In his battle group, I have the mighty Abyssal King. I have a little dinky melee reef troll and double froggers. I bought a Fire Guardian, a Fugewalker, Gregor Boomhowler, the 4th, Madame Moriarty, Morga Boza, a unit of Fire Spitters, a unit of Marauder Crew with a Tapper attachment, and a unit of Boarding Party, and a unit of Spirit Shamans. I racked Blessing of the Gods, careful recon, because a lot of things in here don't have Pathfinder, hit and run, Lucky Penny, and put the fires out. The point of the list is I brought a handful of trash models, essentially Boarding Party, Fire Spitters, Tapper unit, to kind of just take up space, take up attacks, exist in places, to help deliver the meat of my army, which is the Froggers, the Abyssal King, and War Chief Bagatti. They're there to do the majority of the work and threaten my opponent into playing like a coward. I racked Fortify and Fury Strength today.
Also welcoming back to Tried and True is our forever cygnar enthusiast, Rick. He has brought 100 points of Storm Legion led by the Apotheosis Warcaster, Captain Huxley. Please tell us about your choices going into the game.
Hey guys, what's going on? So today I have brought with me Captain Huxley. We went ahead and racked up Jackhammer and Snipe for the report itself. We have the Maelstrom today. So I have the secondary neural coupling. Both of the support weapons are the heavy mag bolters. I have the Thunder Hammer and the Pulse Fist for that nice buckler. I also have 2 strikers. One of them has the Overtake Head, Voltaic Halberd, and Galvanic Shield, and the other has Overtake, the Voltaic Hammer, and a Storm Blazer Cannon. I have 2 Legionnaire Officer Solos, a unit of Arcane Mechanics, a unit of Storm Veins, a unit of Storm Lance Legionnaires, and 2 units of the Tempest Assailers. Today's command cards are Blessing of the Gods, Careful Reconnaissance, Duck and Cover, Lucky Penny, and Old Faithful. Looking to kind of attrition out my opponent and always threatening the assassination with that jackhammer.
Will anything be left of Carvertown after these 2 titans meet on the battlefield? Can the War Chief's forces outlast the Captain's barrage of lightning and metal? Let's get to the table and roll off.
Hi, everybody.
Greetings!
We're back in the year of our Lord 2025. We're playing on a brand new map that Paul's developed. It is Carvertown. We're going through
it's so pretty.
Lovely. I know, right? We got some huts. We got some forests. Paul developed a new set of hazards called minefields. They're essentially neutral spike traps that can be different shapes and sizes and can still be destroyed by 80s and 120s. Rick, you want to tell them about the scenario that we're running?
So we are playing Color Guard today. Basically, it is set up that it is 2 50s a cache for each of us, and then a flag that likes to run around the table.
Yeah, so you start placing your own flag, and then your opponent places it every round after.
The bottom
which gets
of the
interesting.
round. Yep. Anticipation of where is it going to be?
All right, I'm starting us off. I got a little advanced deploy. I'm trying to figure out where I don't get shot, because how this game kind of goes is I'm going to get shot the whole way in, and there's nothing I can really do to stop it, so I have to just accept that.
Welcome to Storm Legion.
Yep. So a lot of the time in this matchup, it ends up with, you are kind of running at them with your hair on fire to try and get there before your army melts.
Fair.
Bugatti Bomb is very buffable. You can throw a force barrier on him from Boomhowler. You can throw... this man is licking a frog to give himself armor. He's going to blood sweats himself and run and be tanky as all hell. We're also going to use some shamans up there. They're going to put some pawns out, so everybody's going to have concealment. It's going to be relatively hard to shoot at back here anyway. Mulga Baza hides in the forest because she doesn't have anything better to do. Boomhowler's going to force barrier Bugatti Bomb because he's going to run up there as far as he can and just lead with his face.
I respect it a lot. Spends all the spells.
There he goes. I think he's camping 1 after putting out Fortify on himself. He's got Iron Flesh on the big boy, the Abyssal King. I think that's about it. Shamans walked up. They put their little pawns out. Everything within 3 inches of a shaman counts as being in shallow water, so anything that's amphibious will be concealed. I run up the Abyssal King. I know he's probably going to get shot at by armor-piercing / siege weapon shots a couple times as the game goes on, so I got to get him up the board as quickly as possible before he melts. And then I hide a nice poison dart frog behind him. Look how pretty. Paul painted him recently. Now I am questioning the very, very long range of these cav guns. The Electroleap is not a fun thing for my army. We do not survive Electroleaps, so we're going to stay out of cav guns for now. So
Dice off 3 is fine.
Yeah, we're going to take the right side a little slower. There's probably not going to be a good opportunity for me to challenge his cache. Also, we both chose the walls in the back for our flags, if you can see that. So I'm the blue flag, he's the red flag. They're going to move from there at the point. I'm rallying up some dudes. And then we have our little pygmy trolls. They're going to stay out of cav guns for now, and they're just going to get some cover. I had the opportunity to ambush them this game, but this being a very narrow scenario means they might as well just be advanced deploy and able to shoot at some point.
True. So this game, we actually had Huxley begin standing himself on the ground for the start of the game. Those frogs of yours likes to pull people in and eat heavies for no reason, so I didn't want to do that. So Huxley was on the ground. He just moved up to behind my objective wall. He threw out, surprise, snipe onto the Maelstrom, and then failsafe onto the shielded striker, and then camped onto himself. So then we go ahead and, again, as most turn 1s go, we just start launching ourselves forward to try to mostly stay out of certain threat ranges so that we don't just get picked off the board before being able to do anything at all. So armor 20 on the assailers getting up the board. They're relatively safe. Ice King! So we had to go ahead and get those prophecies out to make sure that actual placement of these big boys was legal and legitimate.
So fat.
Yeah. So we do go ahead and get the Maelstrom. I start to proxy it out just to kind of make sure that I can get it placed, because we're definitely going to get some rounds into the Abyssal King there. Range 17 on my guns feels pretty good. So definitely going to end up happening. So I definitely made a little bit of a mistake here in this part. I should have used the mechanics first to get some focus on the Maelstrom for more boosting and all that kinds of stuff, but I didn't. I just kind of prepped them up for next round. But so Striker gets up there to be a little threatening, because at any point in time I can just jump back into Iron Horse with Huxley to have my guys go obnoxious distances and then just kind of walk around the board. Storm Lances get into potential threat ranges to charge after certain models and just be ready to handle that flank. And we repo so that even if they decide to come in with their little bombs there on the right, I don't have to necessarily randomly get killed by some excessive damage rolls. So again, moving up with my guys just to make sure they're not going to get tanked out. Again, here I am going through the whole thing of let's just prep the mechanics, and I don't actually give anybody anything. But Maelstrom moves up, and we measure my 17-inch range obnoxiously as I should, making sure that the spray is within range of the little frogs on the side there, so we can go ahead and make that spray attack on them just to kind of keep getting the weapons platform out there. We do get decent damage onto the Abyssal King, but nothing necessarily to write home about in the respect of it's probably still going to take 2 turns of guns to drop him. But Andy definitely learned the shield guard should be over there.
We rectify that later.
Yes. So again, we just make sure that the guns go off. We make sure to boost on a damage roll to make sure to try to get the maximum damage out there. And we roll pretty well overall, but I forget, what was it, like 9 or 10 damage or something like that.
It took a good chunk.
Yeah. So then we prep out the Storm Banes, because reducing range to be able to shoot at the Colossal itself is pretty good, as well as reducing range from shooting at my other models, since the Abyssal King is over there.
Guns for me, but not for you.
Correct.
So annoying.
It's
All
great.
right.
I love it.
I know. Okay. So I got a whole bunch to clean up. I have, I believe, 6 Fury out, and I camped 1. So I'm going to grab all that back on that hidden poison dart frog up top. I think I'm going to upkeep both spells, and Moriarty's going to do 1 for free. So I think Bugatti Bomb starts with 6. This turn, I don't have a ton of targets to shoot at. I need to get some ranged work out of the Abyssal King. I also need to get something up the board to sort of do a peace trade for the Assailers, because I do not want the Assailers on a heavy, ever. That's just always a terrible decision. I don't respect the Fire Spitters very much. They, into your army and into the tankiness of your army, they're not going to do much, so they're better used as sort of just a here, go attack this. They're a little expensive for that, but they're kind of Bugatti Bomb's dedicated guys who every once in a while can become incorporeal and can cause a problem, but it doesn't really affect most games. They don't last very long. I am trying to convince you not to kill my pigs once I walk them in and throw bombs. It's not working. So I'm humming and hawing on trying to figure out, like, what do I do here? Scenario-wise, I know the flag's going to move at the end of your next turn. You have the option of the forest in the middle, which you probably don't want to move it to, or the minefield that my Fire Guardian is towing. 3 guesses as to which direction you go.
And 2 of them don't count.
There's a couple ways I can go. There's a forest to the left of that wall, and there's a pond straight up the gut. So we're going to play that out.
3 more guesses.
Yeah. So I know that my Abyssal King in melee out-threatens your Maelstrom by 1 inch. So as long as I stay out of 11 inches, you can't use the full Maelstrom turn into the Abyssal King. The only thing you can really do is run it and jackhammer it to death, which might still work, but it makes you have to at least feat and use a whole bunch of focus. So I think the play for me is to make sure you cannot score this without killing the Abyssal King. as well as making sure the Maelstrom cannot charge my Abyssal King and I don't lose it for free. So with that positioning, I don't have a ton of things to shoot at because you are kindly negating my range.
You're welcome.
So I think I take some pot shots at the Assailers, just whatever I can do. He's Rat 4, so he's going to burn through a ton of fury just to try and kill, I think, one guy. So I think he loads himself up for the Unyielding Animus and a couple boosted to hit and boosted damage shots. He may or may not have Puppet Master on him. These are going to be power 15s. I don't have Rage in this list because the Dire Troll is really expensive right now to try and fit into a list with a Colossal and 2 Frogs, so I had to drop him.
We got those new Broken Egg tokens now, too, since you're shooting me.
Yeah, look at all those wounds that are coming off. My Colossal is totally killing a single dude in that infantry unit.
Right,
Got him.
In that 9-point unit. Haha.
So we kill one of them. I think the Abyssal King is definitely going to last one more turn here. I don't think he's going to waste his feet. I'm getting fed up with our little Dust Devils over here because I don't want to stand in them because it lowers my range. At this point, I know that they're not going to be able to do much this game, so they're going to contest. They're going to force you to charge them instead of doing anything else and getting in my way. So they're just going to throw some bombs. The Assailers are my prey, so I'm just begging for like really high rolls to do anything. I think I do 1 damage to him over the course of this entire fire bombing spree.
Yeah, it wasn't a whole lot. It was like 1 or 2.
But yeah, they're up there. They're just going to do a peace trade. I am licking the same frog as I licked last time. He's going to have blood sweat, so he's going to be a mighty 10 boxes armor 19. Just annoying to remove. In order to remove him, you'd need to bring up a heavy, so I don't think you would bother at this point. So I'm just positioning him so that he's threatening something. Bugatti Bomb's going to go. He's going to drop a whole bunch. I think he healed the Abyssal King a bit because he didn't have much to do. He's going to camp 1 and sit behind that giant Carver statue. The potential here is he's going to have cover there. He has Fortify on himself, and he's concealed in case you don't care about cover. He's also putting up the Unyielding Animus, just in case. So he's armor 20 right now with cover. So I don't think you really have much that can get onto him without maybe like an overtaking striker, and even then it's only an attack or 2. So I'm not super worried. Molga Bogaza enlivens a frog. We throw a frog up with a little bit of cover. I think it's just outside of range of your hammer striker over there. So we'll see how that goes. I run the Reef Troll over to where he should be, protecting my Abyssal King. I do something a little fun here. I walk up my Tapper unit and position them really closely, and then I mini-feet to Repo 3 so that none of them are standing within 2 inches of each other, so you don't get AoE 2s or Electro Leaps quite as easily. I do need a couple of them back to score my wall, which my Fire Guardian is also scoring my wall. I'm leaving that a little carvable, so I'm hoping that's not going to bite me in the butt. I walk up a mighty 4 inches with my Pygmy Trolls, and they're going to throw some bombs. Yeah, they're going to throw some bombs. The thought here is that you're going to have to commit pretty hard on over here in order to kill them, and they're just a shitty 6-point unit. What I fail to realize is your cavalry can just repo to definitely affect the rest of the board next turn anyway, after erasing them. They're rolling fine. like I need super spikes. I think I do 1 damage over here too. It's not great.
It wasn't a whole lot, yeah. So we get onto my turn here, and then I had to go into the little mini tank of like, do I get Iron Horse back up or do I stay on the ground? I ultimately decide to stay on the ground because Iron Horse does not affect the Maelstrom in the slightest, so I can't get that +2 charge range, which would benefit him quite a bit, but it doesn't affect him at all. So I can't get that. So, and then the assassination attempt of one of the strikers kind of like wrapping around after overtake and things like that, you're still probably going to have cover and all those kinds of things, that it's not worth throwing everything at it and feeding after anybody. So I kind of just go into this tank of probably just try to remove as much that's accessible, so that on following turns I can then get deeper in, like even with like the Maelstrom follow-up, just basically give you the strikers so that you can eat through them, and then the Maelstrom can move up to a degree that you have to deal with the striker first, then maybe not get to the Maelstrom, because realistically, getting rid of an armor 22 striker either takes your caster or it takes the Abyssal King, and then if the Abyssal King's doing that, he's not going after the Maelstrom. So we're definitely playing this dance with the big boys of, are we going to be able to do something for following turns? So I ultimately decide to keep myself on the ground. We go ahead and roll my fire. Does no damage to the assailer on the side there. And then I go ahead and I charge into that little frog unit that you have over there. And through a combination of smites and just kind of regular attacks of whatever, I'm fairly certain that we just delete the unit from playing ping pong.
As is their right. That is what they're for.
As is their right, yes. Yep. So then we just make sure that all the attacks are done in the right way. We kind of have a conversation of who does what where to make sure that it all works out. So that I can basically guarantee that the unit's deleted properly without losing out on the attacks because I smite the wrong way or anything like that. So, but end of the day, they all die. And I get to have a pretty decent unit that's just going to sit there and kind of contest that, and it's going to take way more than their point cost to remove.
Yeah, arm 28 boxes is it takes committal.
It's kind of silly. Yep. So we go ahead and we definitely take some more looks for the Maelstrom's guns. Again, I think we're just going to try to shoot into the Abyssal King, but we're looking at some other stuff. Do I use my Storm Lances to go after your unit that's in the center? Do I use them to peel out the flank? There's just many options that I could have overall because of the repositioning that they're able to do. They're able to spread out pretty wide, which I've been learning a lot more lately, that it's mostly better to walk and repo to widen your vectors than it is to just like run up the board and keep them all stuck within 2 inches of each other. So we go ahead and we get the mechanics going, and we just start up the Empower train and are throwing out Empowers everywhere. The Strikers are still going to get Accumulator from being near Huxley, so giving them just each one more basically sets it up that I could basically have everybody full. But the Maelstrom gets 2, one of the Strikers gets 1, the important one that I need to have a third focus to. And then we go ahead and we charge up with the first striker with the Stormblaze Cannon, just in range for the hammer to work. And then I have the Stormblaze Cannon go ahead and start to make some shots, because now that it's been upgraded to have lightning generator, I get those D3 electro leaps off the cannon. So we target the tapper itself first with the main gun, because if I can get that going, then you lose stumbling, which would be really nice. However, that dude toughs and just kind of stumbles back into the wall that he wants to be at anyway. So
yeah, I got a little lucky here.
Yeah. So one thing I did forget for this was that I could have, I don't think, maybe I didn't forget it. I have overtake for when that hammer hit, so I could have kind of like moved, but I think we looked at it. I'm not within 2 inches of anybody else, so I just needed to have the Stormblaze Cannon kind of go off. And then nothing died from that, so didn't feel fantastically great. I did bonk a dude, but the Stormblaze Cannon didn't do anything. So from here, we go ahead and make sure that the Storm Lances now go ahead and come over here to deal with the little guys here. I ensured that I stayed within 2 of my own charging guy and not within an inch of your guys to let annoying be a thing. Because
They're cav charges. It'll be all right.
it's annoying. So having boosted 7s to boosted 8s are still way better. So we go ahead and make all my charge attacks. All the charge attacks hit pretty well. I got my own little guy rolling my dice for me. So I did actually miss.
Oh, I got a dodge.
Attack here.
I got a dodge.
So you went to go ahead and do a dodge, and it was more so just to kind of get in the way. And dodging into 1 inch of me allowed me to get my shield attack kind of going on also. I believe that one missed as well. But through the combination of my lance charge attacks, plus the guns, plus electroleaps off the guns, at the end of the day, we removed most of the unit, except for, I believe, the 1 survived. Annoyingly.
Oh, we trying. We just trying to survive. Yeah, if we get 1.
Trying so hard.
I think we leave 1 on there.
Yep. So he dodges out of the way, and then I repo myself into positions to still threaten the board off to the side there, so that we can then get ready to contest or control whatever objective might be next. The assailers just run up into the forest to prep themselves up for the following turn, and then I set myself up so that I'm not necessarily in ranges of anybody in case I need to attack, and also that everybody's within 3 of that objective, so you have to remove my entire unit to be able to score that on subsequent turns.
I'm not sure whether you were thinking about this, but this whole time I'm eyeballing that cache with this pygmy troll down here going, if I just walk just close to within 3 inches of that cache and he forgets to put a dude there, then you walk your solo right behind it too, and I'm like, well, that's not happening.
There it goes. Yep. So I was able to accidentally, still I believe to this point, put my solo within the range because I needed him close anyway. The whole point was to have him there for March on the following turn. So it was just a happy set of circumstances that got me to get it within range. So then we start measuring out for the Maelstrom using that good old Ice King proxy base, and set myself up that we're going to go ahead and start getting some guns into the Abyssal King again.
I think this is the turn you rotate Snipe onto Huxley as well in order to get a giant siege weapon shot on him too.
I make sure to get the Maelstrom to make his attacks first, and then after that, Snipe goes back onto Huxley. Because while Huxley's on the ground, the gun he has improves to range 14, which becomes 17 with Snipe. It goes from power 6 to power 8, and then gains the siege weapon property, which hurts a 120 millimeter quite a bit. Even though we both completely knew and understood that's what the shield guard was there for. But shots are going to be made because then I can still put some damage out onto that light anyway. So mapping out the whole plan.
Yep, I'm just accepting these shots going, I know the Huxley one's coming, so I'm just not even going to shield guard any of these.
So the proxy did give me the information that I needed of that. I don't want to I was thinking about trying to be cheeky and getting the Maelstrom put up there, and then because I knew some other stuff was going to be in the way. But because I don't want to give you the off chance that you can still kind of charge up into me, we decided to play the Maelstrom to kind of stay where he was to make his gunshots just go into you, and then again, hopefully I'm able to force you to move up, that I can then get onto the Abyssal King first. So we go ahead and we just run the other striker in the way, because again, armor 22, it's going to be kind of annoying to remove and also I'm able to contest the objective even more with him plus the assailers. So then we are going to be able to stop you from scoring there, because again, I think I'm trying to play out the attrition game a lot more by saying I don't want you to have the ability to do certain things without me just trying to trample it over.
I think if you had moved the Maelstrom up, this play makes a little bit more sense, because I can't really get to the Maelstrom if you shove him in my face, but you both moved him up and kept the Maelstrom back, which kind of helped me a little bit.
Sure. So then Huxley takes his shot, putting Snipe onto himself, and then we still boost the damage because on the light there,
he's armor 18 with a shield, but he's still he's going to get chunked.
Yeah, so I
Never
can
mind.
still...
He takes one.
Right. Well, so the whole point was I could boost and get a big chunk out of it, and I'm pretty sure I've rolled like 6 on the dice, so it didn't do all that much. So I got Huxley sitting on 3.
So now is when we move flags. So I was first player, so I moved flag first, and I moved to that little pond. He doesn't have any models in that pond, which means I can now score it, which is huge. And Rick kindly moved it to the minefield, where any of my units will probably die if they enter. So not a good time.
Yeah, and then my units are fine because they're armor 18s or 20s, depending on what gets in there, and I'm happy with it. So
yeah, not helpful. All right. So I got some big tanky boys in my face. However, my threat extension is no longer really needed. He has brought me meat, and now I must chew on it. I think my plan here is I want to try and score both flags if I can. I'm definitely not scoring the 50 closest to us. That's never happening. I'm never going to be able to clear enough models for that. The cache closest to us is also not a thing, because you cleverly, or not so cleverly, move 2 models to contest it, and I don't have enough stuff that can get through that forest. To
accidentally, some would say.
So I keep all my upkeeps out there. I start with 6 with Bugatti Bomb. I'm considering if I could just remove /Lightning Strike the heavy with Bugatti Bomb, I can get onto the Maelstrom, but I think he kept his Maelstrom far enough back that I just can't do that. I can't get the Assailers close enough that I can kill all of them while keeping the Jack within 2, so I can get enough attacks on the Jack to kill it comfortably. So I know I'm leaving an Assailer out there after my Abyssal King's turn that has to get cleaned up. So we're just kind of we're playing with that. We're pre-putting Fury Strength up on Bugatti Bomb through Madame Moriarty, casting it on him. Looking at the possibility of going into one of those 2 Jacks. We're not sure where we're going yet, but we know Bugatti Bomb's going to have to do some work today. So I'm figuring it out. I'm always trying to do... My plan here is to go up on scenario, so I'm always trying to do the things that get me to scenario success first, because that's my win condition right now. That's what I'm trying for. And here's me figuring out that my little pygmy trolls can't do anything cheeky, because I'm measuring to all those guys who are now contesting that. So that's not in the cards. The new rule for having to be completely within, or at least towing a piece of terrain, is interesting. It definitely shrinks a lot of these flag zones.
Oh, 100%.
The Abyssal King's going now. He is beating the absolute tar out of this striker right now.
Yes, he is.
You are armor 22, but I am power 22, so it's straight dice. Mm-hmm. And we're just rolling really well. We're just cranking on them.
I'll say, I think this activation, like, it was like, am I just constantly rolling like 9s and up?
Yeah, this like, man, okay. This striker is currently doing what we call getting diced.
Yes.
So last turn, all that really happened was we both scored our own flag, so it's 2-2 at the top of 3. The Abyssal King has to shoot somebody who's engaging him because he doesn't have Gunfighter. So he is shooting at the striker, hoping to hit. I think he did actually hit you with one of his Rat 4 shots somehow.
I think so too, yeah. I feel like roll boxcars, just like, okay, that happened. And there he goes.
All right, so at the end of the day, he removed a striker and an assailer.
Completely worth his points.
It's okay. I know that I'm probably losing him for this, but you're going to have to commit the Maelstrom to do it, and you probably are also going to have to feed with Huxley to do it. So if you're feeding on my Abyssal King, you're not feeding on Bugatti Bomb. Oh, look at that smile. Look at that smile.
That's a good smile.
He's so happy. We're charging into the Maelstrom with a very brave Few Walker right now.
So
we're
brave.
just trying to be in the way and be tanky. So we're going to be Def 13, Armor 19, sitting in your face.
Yep.
We're going to tow up with the Frogger just a little bit, just to finish clearing off the assailers here. He's just going to walk within 5, boost to hit you, and just drag you to me and bop you to death. Here he comes. Num num. There he goes. He's gone. It's power 17, but you're down to armor 18 without shield wall, so it takes a swat or two, but he's down. So we're now scoring that far 50 mil. We're doing okay. Haven't figured out how to score this minefield yet without, contesting crazy nonsense. My shamans walk into the pond. They put extra ponds out just to be extra pondy, so they're dancing in puddles. So they're scoring that. So I'm currently scoring top 50 and the middle flag. Those guys are having a ball. My frog's now going up. He's going to try to put some damage into this striker. He also is going to do what we call getting diced. He just goes absolute mad and he just cranks. I don't think he finishes it quite, but it makes it questionable for me to have to engage Bugatti Bomb at all. Jeez. Yeah, he is having a great time over there.
No, yeah, I think you left it on 1, and they left it on its 1 movement. That was it.
Yeah, so at this point, okay. Bugatti Bomb's sitting there going, he's all riled up with Fury Strength going, do I need to do anything this turn?
He's all dressed up and got nowhere to go.
Yeah. I'm still eyeballing this 50 mil, and I am contemplating contesting further with that pond up there. I think I'm just trying to put stuff in the way at this point of Bugatti Bomb, because I know he's not going to have to commit much. So we just remove that striker with that unit. Whole bunch of charging 13s on a non-shielded guy. Now we put some pistols into the cav. Again, I'm just rolling dice to see what happens. It's not a great time. But I think we do remove one, maybe?
Oh yeah. No, you again just straight up getting diced this round where it's just
yeah. This turn was nonsense.
I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah, we run a pygmy troll. He's sad he can't go cheekily score a cash, but he'll just be behind you, I guess, on a hill, trying to do an espionage mission. Again, not scoring this 50. Here's Mulgabaza. She won't die to a random power 10 because she has impervious flesh.
And we will no longer hear any more Meemaw slander.
She did her job. She walked into the minefield.
She did it, damn it.
She scored me 2 points. I can't complain. She's 4 points. She does absolutely nothing else for me, but she did that, so that's fine.
No more slander.
Yep. We run a reef troll to kind of just take up some board space, make sure things that would like to reach around that giant statue into Bugatti Bomb will have a problem. Things being the Maelstrom.
Yeah, say. Namely.
Yeah. I think we force barrier the reef troll as well, just to be annoying, so random pot shots are going to have a harder time shooting at them. And then Bugatti Bomb, I think, is just going to heal the the Abyssal King a little bit more.
Because why not?
Yeah. I count out how much Fury I have out. I think I count 2. He still feels pretty safe behind there with the ability to possibly feet and walk his incorporeal butt out from behind there. So at this point, I score 5, I believe. So we are.
Yes, you went up pretty much.
Yeah, so it's like 7-2.
So I definitely had my work cut out for me this round. I went to the sky for this one because I felt like Huxley might need to kind of get into the meat a little bit and just kind of like get in there. So we start looking at stuff, and I'm thinking about how am I going to get rid of this Fugue Walker that's in my way, because I need him out of the way so that my Maelstrom can charge, so that I can go after your Abyssal King, because I need him gone. Because if you have the opportunity to come after me first, both flanks just start falling apart, and it's probably not going to be great at all. So we start looking at everything. I'm making sure to check for all my ranges, who I can go after. I have to deal with those two shamans that are in the water there, so I can score for my turn. I need to try to get these 50 millimeter cleared off so that I can score. And then we did do a measure of your Vraugr on the top side that's behind the king currently, and he is not within 3 inches of that 50 millimeter.
Big mistake on my part.
Yes, so I went, haha, so definitely need to get the Maelstrom within 3 and get the Abyssal King down, because if I can get the Abyssal King down, I can score this objective, and that's one more point in my favor to keep me in the game, because at this point, if I don't score, 4 points, I'm out of the game.
It is 7-2, so you need to be up to 5, yes, and not let me score anything.
So I need to score at least 3, which would be the flag and this one other objective. But I still have other options to potentially get to stuff, especially if I can get my cavalry cleared off from the little annoying guys so that I can make a charge into the minefield. So we start looking at everything. I'm checking all the stuff of who has what. I was hiding your abilities, trying to be a cheater, obviously.
I know. So I'm sitting there looking at my stuff, going, "Where is my token?"
Yeah. So I decide that I'm going to have my solo do tactician and just charge through to get to the Fugue Walker, because if I can get this guy removed, I'll still have tactician and it can just go through my own guy, so I don't have any issues. Well, he just rolls like a power 14 weapon master, and I think I rolled like 6-6-5-4 or something like that. And I just deleted him.
Turns out 10 boxes isn't enough. Yeah, he's just dead. And then he just cleans up the shamans on top of it.
Yes, and then he shoots the gun that's on the sword over to the shamans and just deletes them both with a direct hit and electro leap
at def 15.
It's fine. No, 3-point model. He's great.
This is your support solo.
That's my support solo. So he cleared off everything that I needed. So then the Storm Veins just run up and get into the water there, doing Windweaver, so it's harder to shoot them. And I scored that to be able to score that point there. Mechanics go ahead and power up the Maelstrom and give magic weapons because I can. I have nothing else better to do with the third guy. And then we go ahead and charge. And the
meeting of the minds right here. Meeting of the minds.
The big boy battle begins. So we go ahead and get the charge in there, and the dice start rolling.
Do you Blessing of the Gods here? I forget.
I did not. So basically, because of Unyielding and all your stuff that you have, my hammer is still straight dice, because that hammer is still power 23 for some reason.
Yeah, so, and I'll be armor 23 as well, yeah.
Yeah, so it was just straight dice for the hammer itself. So obviously, hindsight thinking about it, I should have played Blessing here just to get those extra few points in, regardless.
It's still going well.
Go ahead and roll. But my dice overall are still doing fine, so I'm able to make plenty of attacks. And then my offhand is still power 20. It's still only dice off 3, so that's not terrible. And then if for some reason that I can make my armor-piercing attacks still do damage, because then the Unyielding doesn't take effect, it's not terrible. So we're able to kind of get in there. I believe, actually, one of these attacks still missed, though, because I think I rolled double ones on one of them, which really stunk because I I think so. I missed one, and then my last one only did like 2 or 3 damage, which felt terrible. So I had to go into Huxley utilizing his feat so that I could
And Lucky Penny, I believe.
Drop this. Yeah, so I started his activation, went up to Lucky Penny, put up full throttle to make sure that this stuff was happening, because Mat 6 can still miss. And we jackhammer feet, and then one more jackhammer to drop the Abyssal King out. So with that, I'm still within 3 inches of your light, and I start going into the contemplation of, am I just going to drop him? Because I don't think anything can get to Huxley himself. We decide to go ahead after it, and it turns out that at dice plus 5, it takes 2 attacks to drop the little guy there.
Little guy.
So then with that does make it so that the Maelstrom is able to control that objective there to give me that additional point. And then in my head, the additional point for the vein, the 2 points from the flag for the veins. So my solo goes after your little froggy dude there. And in true fashion of 3-point solos, he just murders, which clears out my Storm Lances to go ahead and make a charge in for these guys over here.
They care nothing for the mines.
They don't, because I think one of them took like 1 damage maybe, but at the end of the day, I was able to get the charges in here along with the guns, and we were able to delete the both of the solos that are there, so that I can control that objective as well.
And I felt so good, and all of a sudden now you score 4 from the 2 flags, and I go, oh, this is what Color Guard feels like. Okay.
Yep. So we're able to do that. I go ahead and bring my assailers in again, because we're just trying to control and take over all this stuff and destroy things. So, because I'm like, I can smite here, I can smash them into each other, I can have this set up over here, and I do all this stuff. Plus, I can be in there being in the way so that if I can't control it, I can contest it. Well, I make my attacks, go through the whole thing. Dudes start dying.
Slammed.
Slamming all over the place. I go ahead and I hit this troll that's right here because he's going to die, right? Well,
I think you slam him 1 inch.
No.
But he's steady.
He toughs and he stumbles into the freaking water, contesting the damn scenario.
Look at us contesting. Look at us.
And I'm like, no. So now I got to figure out how the heck am I going to get that guy out, because I need these points to kind of get up ahead of the scenario again. And I'm not in range to hit him anymore. And the problem is, I think I've used everybody when I look at the board. So I started sweating for a minute here because I was like, I just lost the game now because I can't contest enough. Well, lucky for me, I needed 3, and the Storm Lances gave me the additional 2 that I needed.
Yeah, it ended up being 7-5, and you were fine.
Right. So I just had enough. So, and then we moved the flags.
So I moved the flag.
Yeah,
I move it first so that I'm blocking that. But you kind of wanted to go to that rubble in the bottom anyway, just because I have no hope of getting there, and you can just auto score that. On the other hand, it forces the Cav to stay there, so maybe that's a good thing for me. I don't know. We'll see. All right, it's my turn again. I'm winning on scenario, but I'm quickly losing on attrition. I do have 2 heavies on the board. I have Bugatti Bomb. He's staring at a Maelstrom going, I have to kill you now. It's my job, and no one else's. So I'm slightly up on scenario. I know that I need to have Bugatti Bomb cast a Flaming Fist for free from one of the Froggers, because he has Attuned Spirit. I know that Moriarty is going to cast Fury Strength on him. He's going to go up to power 17, and he is just going to wail on this Maelstrom until it's not there anymore. This is the plan anyway. What we're doing first is we're going to clear some dudes off with the Frogger. The Frogger wants to clear this off because if I can get the Frogger and another dude in there. That's 3 points sitting there with that 50 and a flag. That would be really, really good. All in one spot, so I can press my scenario advantage further. But I only have 2 dudes to do it. I think the Assailer is only on a handful of boxes though, so I might be able to do it by just walking, because he's engaging both of them. Nobody can charge. So my drunken, stumbling guy, I think, is going to try and walk in, and we're just going to try and hit him with some power 13s. Moriarty cast Fury Strength on Bugatti Bomb. Poor Malga has served her purpose. Excellent, 4 points. Excellent.
No slander.
Such slander. All of the slander. So Bugatti Bomb is going to... I wanted to go with the frog before I went with Bugatti Bomb, so that I could... so that they would stay incorporeal when he feeded. You don't have a ton of magic weapons out there. So if I have 2 incorporeal heavies, you probably don't kill both of them.
Yeah, without any... If I don't have any more jacks.
Yeah, so I want to make sure that I go with the Froggers before I go with Bugatti Bomb, so that when he feats, they become incorporeal and stay that way. So we charge the Maelstrom with the Froggers, and they're just doing some damage. They're trying to keep the make it so that Bugatti Bomb doesn't have to do all of the work here. He's doing okay. He does a little chip damage. I think he's taken a gunshot or 2 at some point as well. Yeah, so he's a little chunked. He's probably about a third dead.
Points on him.
I think the Frogger leaves him about half dead. So Bugatti Bomb has to come in and finish the job. I no longer have Lightning Strike, unfortunately, so Bugatti Bomb's just going to be stuck there. He casts Flaming Fists on himself for free, and then he's going to go up there with his 7 Focus, 7 Fury, because he upkept Fortify for free from Moriarty, and he is just going to buy a lot of attacks, because every time he buys an attack, he actually buys 2 attacks. That's his special ability. So he's just frenzying at you with... I'm rolling a lot of Snake Eyes on this turn, so the dice have come back around in full circle. We're doing okay on the hit rolls, but all my damage rolls are a little low here. I'm getting worried. I'm chipping away at him. I'm doing okay. But I think it takes probably 8 to 10 attacks. Yeah, we spike on that last one and we crank them.
Yep. And then this is when I remember, I'm like, oh wait, I had plasma into this whole time. Let me just roll
You roll a whole bunch of power 10s at me.
Rolling like 10.
I'm like, I'm armor 20, right?
I don't care.
I think I'm armor 18. You needed like 9s in order to do damage.
Right.
And I think you just rolled like 8 and 7 like the entire time.
Yeah, I didn't roll a single point of damage on all of it, so.
Yeah. I realized that you're probably not going to get much on Bugatti Bomb, but I wanted to camp a little bit. So I know how much Fury I have out, which is 4. So I camp 3 and say, you probably don't kill me through 3 transfers, and both frogs are incorporeal and probably not dying to your army right now. I walk up. This is silly. I make a silly play here. I'm trying to clear this guy so I can score this 50, and so that I can score this flag. But I have 3 dudes sitting there, and I'll crowd around that flag.
Look at that zoom in. Look at that zoom in.
And then I put nobody. There's no guys in there. There's no guys
there.
There's no boys. I put no boys in.
The Frogger is like sitting there, like looking. He's like, right here.
He's
right
like,
here.
yeah,
no.
come on, you can do it. It's not impossible. It was at any point could have just put a dude in there, but I didn't. Clock it over to you, and I cry some more, and I bitch.
I point. Nope. There's
and
nobody in there.
And I moan, and I'm sad about it. So we live with our mistakes here.
That was rough.
But I do score. What did I score? 1, I think.
I think it was just 1 for the turn. Yeah.
Yeah. So I go up to 8 to 5.
Oh, it might have been the 2 because the 2 Froggers.
Oh, I am scoring both 50s. Yeah, you're right. So it's 9 to 5 right now.
Yeah. So I, at this point now, don't have a whole heck of a lot in range to be able to do a lot of stuff, especially because now that your guys are incorporeal. I only have Huxley to be able to do any damage to them, but I can't touch them. So it basically boils down to I need to do what I can until hopefully the following turn where Huxley can continue to be a bully. So we start off with the Stormbanes, and they go ahead and attempt their spraying Electroleaps. They're only Rat 5s with pistol, but I don't believe I get anybody just because I think I almost got one, but he toughed.
I think he stumbles into the wall.
He just stumbled away. So we try to make the attacks, but I don't actually get anybody.
Yeah, the Electroleaps help a lot, because at Armor 13, if you do nail somebody, sometimes you just kill 2 with 1 shot.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I did get one. So then we look, and my solos are kind of out of position for this particular match of things, so I have to get them in range to kind of start contesting. Trying to make some random shots that I can, so I go ahead and I take a shot on you, which I miss, and then just make sure I'm contesting that so you don't score it again. I have my other solo charge over into Boomhowler, while still being within 3 of the other objectives, so that again you can't score it this particular turn, because if you're able to score it for this turn, then that's a problem. I think I missed Boomhowler.
He's only defense 12, but your support solo did a ton of work last turn. Maybe he's tired.
Yeah. So I then go ahead and I just pull back the cavalry so I can make sure to score those 2 points. Again, trying to just prep myself up for following turns to back up on everything. I start getting jittery because I'm definitely down on my time a little bit. And then I get into this whole big look of like, where can Huxley be? How could he charge? Because I'm in the sky now, so I charge 10 inches with just a 1-inch melee reach. So go through this whole thing. I'm trying to debate all of it. Do I get Huxley up here? Because maybe he just dies if I try to spend too much. But at this point, I'm running way too low on clock. I got to do something. So we do end up going ahead and charging at the troll that is right there in front of the Stormbanes. Again, just trying to get Huxley's presence up the board, because again, he can be a bully, and if used properly. And we make our attacks into the troll. Any second now.
Come on, Rick, 30 seconds.
I believe because I just got to the point that I was like, I'm running out of turret, so I just like, screw it, I'm just getting up here, I'm not making my attacks. And then we paused the game, and I'm at like 14 seconds or something like that, just so that I could be up the board there.
Yeah, at this point, you've shoved everything into my face. I, at this point, look at it as, let's just win on scenario. Let's just try and make sure that this game doesn't go to clock. So I move to your forest, knowing that you only have one guy contesting that there. I see another cheeky play where I can walk my Marauder up and then sacrifice my Tapper's action in order to steal your cash if I kill that Assailer somehow. Not Assailer, your support solo. So I'm not going to come after Huxley. It's probably a waste of time, and I'll burn all 10 minutes and then just like let you win on clock. That sounds like a bad idea. So I'm trying to do as few things as possible. You're not scoring that flag down there. The frog, Huxley is not contesting my 50, but the solo is. So I'm describing how I'm going to sacrifice actions. Frog, I think, just charges there. I think he boosts a hit, and he just goes ham on this guy.
Oh, easily. Yeah, these guys just die whenever they get hit.
Yep, just charges, boost a hit, eats him. So now I have one guy in that forest to score the flag. I keep looking at that cav going, I don't think I have to care about the cav, but I'm going to lick him anyway, so that I can prevent you from ever scoring that flag. But it's not going to happen anyway. This Marauder walks. He stays within 1 of Huxley, and he toes the forest. The Tapper teleports around, gets within 3 inches of the cache, and he sacrifices attack action, even though he has no weapons. He's having a great time. There's not a whole lot that's going to happen over here. There's just a dance party going on behind that statue. I think we kill just enough dudes to score that 50, I think is the goal. So I want to score 4 here. So Boom Howler does a little spray down the mechanics. Those mechanics are entirely too tanky. I hate it. And then I think I use the Frogger to kill... or Bugatti Bomb just walks up and kills a handful of dudes. I think I'll run the Frogger in the way in the pond at the end, maybe.
Yeah, at this point you're just clearing off the stuff to score as many points as possible.
Yeah, the goal here is just to go up overwhelmingly on scenario. That's the goal.
Yep. On top of, I have nothing else really left to retaliate with outside of Huxley himself.
He walked up in Fire Step to do a little auto-hitting Power 15 on everybody, which was fun.
Yep.
And then we play the hit and run card. Bugatti Bomb himself has Pathfinder, thankfully. We run the Frog up just to get in your way. And then we score a whole bunch of points. We score 5?
Yeah, it's
no,
1,
we score
2...
We score 4.
4.
Yep.
And there we call it, because 14 seconds is not long enough for me to do anything.
Yeah, so it ended up being 13 to 7, I think. I believe
13
it was.
to 7. Yeah.
The game was a grind. Like
it was. Yeah, it was.
I had 2 frogs and a dream left. That's what I had.
Yeah. If I was able to kind of get the Maelstrom to last maybe one more round, I keep going back on it, and it's always like the hindsight of it whenever I'm playing Huxley, because I always rack Jackhammer, but then like every game it just bites me in the butt that I don't have Electrify to get something to get off of my models. So, because if I have Repulsor Field on that Maelstrom, then all of a sudden Bugatti Bomb's only getting like, 2 attacks maybe?
Yeah, he had Fortify on him, so he would have been fine. But you would have pushed the Frog away, so the Frog wouldn't have done nearly as much damage.
Yeah.
I think the biggest change for the biggest difference between our armies right now, I think, is the lack of cav for me. A cav for you is a big attrition swing where you have extra guns, extra threat range, and very accurate charges that can just murder stuff.
Oh yeah, but they're a lot of fun.
But my Colossal's prettier, so there's that.
That's valid. Yours is prettier. He has a better smile.
He's got his dental work done. He's having a great time.
Yep.
Thanks to Paul for doing a ton of this terrain. There's a lot of destroyed Jack parts and old school stuff buried in here. Just
Carvertown's so pretty.
Yeah, I like all the little callbacks to previous editions in here.
Yep. And we're gonna have this at Nova this year, right?
We are going to have this at Nova this year. This will be at least 1 table, maybe 2 taken up. We'll see how much we need to stretch stuff out. Well,
I hope you guys like mines, because Erica does.
Yeah, we got 10 extra tables this year, so our footprint's bigger than last year. If we sell out, we might even go bigger. So buy those Nova tickets when they go on sale, everybody.
I believe in us. We can do it.
All right. I had a wonderful time, Rick, as always.
As always, sir. You're my favorite opponent.
All right. See you, buddy.
All right, buddy. Bye.
Thank you for watching. If you would like to check out some additional content, including post-player, blogs, art, and early releases to support the channel, please check out our Patreon link in the video description below. If there are any factions, warcasters, or warlocks you would like to see on the channel, please let us know in the comments below. See you on the next Tried and True Battle Report.